Hello, I'm Chris, this is Gross Models, and this is possibly the start of a new series building the Terminator, the T-800 from the Terminator, the film, the Terminator, and Terminator 2 I believe as well. Right, this is, say, the first issue, so I've already opened the magazine to see what's what, so we'll see. Basically the insert tells you what you'll be getting in each bit, tells you everything about the model itself. It's almost 1 metre tall. It's a half-scale kit, so it'll go well with the R2 and the 3PO that I've got. Remote control included to operate the sound, lights and movements. It's got luminous eyes, and the base contains the music from the Terminator theme tune, which I'm sure I know when I hear it, but I can't actually bring my mind to... I think it's just deep, noisy, rhythmic things. I don't know. So it's got moving articulation, so basically it's mainly a static model. The mouth apparently opens and closes, the jaw will move at a touch of a button, the eyes light up and turn left and right. So I think that's probably the only illumination in it is the eyes, and the only motorised articulation is going to be the jaw, but you can position the hands and the feet, the arms and legs and everything in different positions. I assume it'll have some sort of voice as well as just playing the music, because the jaw opens. So we'll see. The magazine itself obviously has bits in it, and as well as instructions, as most of these do. And if you subscribe now, you can receive 4 extra gifts and a free issue. Most of the gifts are free issues, obviously nothing to be laughed at. Binder for the magazine, which is always nice. Pack of mini screwdrivers, which will be useful for the build, a keyring, but the important thing is you get a half-scale replica of the gun, which is quite cool. And so if I'm going to go through with it, I will be going down the subscription route, but we'll see. Got 2 weeks until issue 2 comes out, where there's a few new pieces of the head and the right arm. I think it's got some teeth in there as well, so interested to see what's what. Let me have a flick through the magazine. Obviously it's got lots of specifications, obviously that's the gun being held. Things about the film, strengths and weaknesses, lots of bits about the assembly, which I'll come to momentarily. Now, build it, inserts as to what you get with your bits, and issue 3 got a lot of test board and battery box, so you can obviously test the lights pretty early straight away in that. Bits about digital vision, artificial intelligence, it's all mostly rubbish, and obviously they have to say we'll be back next week, next 2 weeks time. So more bits, some teeth and the jaw. With the issue this time we get, say, quite a lot of neat stuff. The main sort of upper faceplate, the interior bits for that with LEDs, the little red bits that the LEDs fit behind to light up, and 3 screws. I'm assuming you need 2 screws, and they give you 1 spare. Hopefully they're doing this properly and just supplying you with the screws when you need them, but we'll find out as time goes by if I do continue with the build. I'm saying I might not continue with the build, I don't know yet. It depends how this issue goes and what the feedback from you guys is like. Basically, if you'd like me to build this and subscribe to it, let me know. If nobody comments and tells me that yes, I'd like to see you build it, then I won't bother, because it's 120 parts, so it's not a cheap build, but it's going over 2.5 years, so again it's quite a monetary investment and time investment, but as I say, it's not so bad paying £8 a week rather than paying it all out at once. So I'm going to get this cut open and try and get my voice working a little bit better, and I'll see you in a moment for the assembly. So here we go. The main piece obviously is the face, which is quite nice. It's quite a weighty metallic part, this. Yeah, it's not bad looking at all. There's no problems with it. There's sort of, I don't know if it's a seam line or meant to be just a line down there, but that's the same in the other side, and probably part of the mould, I would have thought, rather than it being an error. But yeah, I'm quite happy with that. It's quite nice looking. Obviously we've got some other internal pieces as well. I've opened the 3 screws, and we've got 2 LEDs. So let's have a look at what we got to do. Instruction: assembly begins. Obviously it tells us we've got the chrome eye and nasal sockets, eye orbits and red eye caps and diodes, and you'll need a small screwdriver, which luckily enough I have, so we're okay with that. Right, before assembly, carefully examine all the pieces, make sure you've got what you got, and there you go. You won't need to assemble the chrome eye and nasal sockets or the head connection component, so you can safely put those to one side. So we're not using the big metal bit, but that's obviously the selling point. Look at what you can get. If they didn't give you that in issue 1, then you know it wouldn't be much of an issue and nobody would pick it up. So you've got to get something iconic out there early. Obviously the first issue is also cheaper than the rest, so they want lots of people to buy it cheap because it's got a cool bit in it. But you know, there we go. The first step is pushing in the red bits into the eye sockets into the eye holes. It's pretty easy. They don't really locate in tight, but they're tight enough, I suppose. Yeah, they seem alright. Push it in until it can go no further. It says quite clean, quite nicely. And then we're putting the LEDs in the back. Take care, align the red and black wires vertically as shown. Alright, maybe you have to, because we've got obviously tops and bottoms to these. There's two pins on one side and one on the other, and they've got them opposite ways round on there, but they're vertically. This is the important thing apparently. So we're putting them in that way up, and that just goes in there. Doesn't go in all the way, but goes in enough. So there we go. Not much to worry about with those. Yeah, so it's not really going to matter which way up it is, because the wire will obviously twist enough to plug it in either way up. There we go. The other end of the red cable is circuit powered by 3 AAA batteries in a couple of issues time. So yeah, we'll test that out in a little while. Right, then we've got the matte black inner eye sockets. Right, that's why we got the 2 are hinged, and the one's obviously the one that's powered to make it rotate. So we're popping those in there, making sure let's look at the instructions as well as the pictures. Concave side to origin, nose facing a different way, matching the vertical slots of the back. The 3rd pin should face upwards, so we're making sure that one goes up on that, and the same the other side, upwards. Cool. And then that goes in to hold them in place. So this is the tricky bit of trying to do both sides at once. And probably, there we go. So they're held in place, and obviously have some rotation ability there. And the 2 screws hold that in place. That's 3 screws we got, but obviously, as it says, we only need 2 of them at the moment. So let's just drop one in there. If you've seen me build any of these part works that are held together with screws before, you'll be aware I'll always say don't do one in really tight to begin with. Always start off just getting it to grip, and then get another one or the rest of them in first to make sure it lines up properly before you tighten them down. So that's tightening those down in there until they make a firm connection. So not over tightening, just tighten enough. And that one has in fact rotated, so let's pop that back in place there, and then that will tighten down a little bit more. So there we have the eyes. They even start to look a little bit like eyes. Now obviously I'm going to have to do that because you've got to see what it looks like. That's going to go in there like that, I imagine, assuming it's that way up. look a little bit high. It's a bit strange. But there you go. That's obviously not lit up, but that's how they're looking. Obviously without putting that on yet. So that is this issue complete. And it goes on to the other information about it. Before you finish, go back through the step-by-step photos to ensure all components are as they should be. Tidy away, keep any pieces you haven't used ready for the next session. So I'll find a box to put the bits in. But there we have it. Not much of a build to begin with, but yeah, I don't know. So as ever, let me know on my channel or on the comments on the video if you think this is something that you would like me to build and you would like to watch, if I can talk. In the next couple of weeks, obviously my voice will be improved, hopefully, and I'll be able to be understood a little bit clearer as well. So thanks for watching, and let me know if you want me to continue with the build or not, and we'll go from there. So bye bye.